Right. See, don't even ask me to do that because that's why I'm not on So You Think You Can Dance. Hey, you guys. Jason Carter here, joined by Emilio Dosal and Teddy Coffey. Top 20. How y'all doing?
I'm
great.
Fantastic.
Great.
Top 20. You know, like 300 million people audition for this show.
Yeah, 300 million?
Yeah.
A large amount. Yeah, it's crazy.
What style are you guys doing for the show? What is your style?
Well, I mean, in a broad spectrum, hip hop, but I mainly specialize in popping.
I'm a tapper and hip hop dancer, but I went into this as a hip hop dancer.
Really? Yeah. Really? So, did you have to like switch your train of thought or turn things off in order to assume that role?
Yeah, I go through phases in my life where I favor one over the other. And at the time I auditioned in New Orleans, I had been taking like 3 hip hop classes a day out in LA at Movement Lifestyle, and I hadn't been tapping for the last 5 months. So I was like, all right, well, I'm going as a hip hop dancer.
Now the judges are so critical. What are some of the critiques you're not wanting to hear from the judges?
That we didn't live up to the challenge that we were given that week. I think that would be the biggest bummer. So hopefully we don't let that happen.
Yeah, exactly. For me, it's all about performance. I mean, getting a choreography is great and all, but the thing is, if there's no performance behind it, then it really means nothing. So if a judge were to tell me like, I didn't feel it, you just did the dance to do it, that would kill me for sure. Especially because I'm very much a performer. If I'm going into something, it's 150,000%, and I just feel like if they don't see that, I'll be bummed for sure.
Now, there's been 11 seasons of So You Think You Can Dance. What have been some of your favorite moments watching over the years?
Number one would be Philip Shabib, his first, second, third, fourth, fifth.
Oh, you're a fan?
Well, yeah. Well, actually, no, he's my crewmate. And but I was the biggest fanboy of him before we became crewmates. I mean, he's pretty much the person who inspired me to the style that I have now. So definitely he's a huge inspiration. Of course, there's Twitch and all these other people that are just heavy hitters in the form of hip hop. But he's definitely, he comes to mind first.
Now, Emilio, this is not your first time at the rodeo.
No.
Ooh. So we've seen you before on.
You've seen me before, actually, last year for So You Think You Could Dance Top 20, and also America's Best Dance Crew Season 6.
So last year, Top 20, and now you're back. What's the difference this year? What are you going to do different this year, Emilio?
Honestly, this year, it's a completely different strategy, only because last year I felt like it was more of a hip-hop year. Definitely, I mean, obviously, Fiction won. You see that. This year, it's a little different. I see a little bit more ballroom, so I'm thinking it's a ballroom year, but that makes it more tougher on us as hip-hop people because we're like, you know what? We got to outshine them in their own genre somehow, so...
I always love seeing people who aren't, let's say you're not a ballroom dancer, you're a breaker, you crumper, but you go in there and you master a style. That's fantastic. You auditioned in New Orleans.
I did.
So what was that process like for you?
Oh, the process was awesome. They were torn about my solo. They said...
What? Why were they torn?
Because they said it didn't have enough substance to it. They said it was just a lot of grooving, which I agree a little bit too. I was going in there kind of like, well, it's not the best representation, but at least I love the song and I love the feel of it. But I was sent to choreography, and that was very nerve-wracking, but I made it through. Marco actually helped me. He talked me up, like, because I had 2 partners, so I did it with my first partner, and then my second partner, I think I represented myself better because Marco pumped me up. Yeah.
Now, after this is all said and done, after your time here at So You Think You Can Dance is done, whether you win, you go on, you kill it, what do you guys want to take away from this experience?
More than anything, friendships, you know?
Yep, that's
I mean, of course, like, getting work and everything's great,
right.
But it really means nothing when you can't share it with other people, especially when we've gone through an experience like this. Even though we just started, we're going through experiences, and we're going out, we're getting to know each other a little bit better, So, and it doesn't help, I mean, sorry, it helps a lot, especially because, most of these people are gonna, if they don't live here already here in LA, they're gonna move here.
Right.
And it's good to have friends here. I mean, because when I first moved here, I just had my crew and no one else, and that you get lonely, and I think it's a good way to start not only friendships but your career.
Yep.
So if you weren't dancing, if dancing wasn't something that you were fantastically amazing at, what else would you be doing?
I would so when I was younger, I used to dance and sing all the time, and I chose dance over singing. But if I wasn't dancing, I probably would have been singing.
You're like the next Justin Timberlake.
Well,
Teddy Coffey.
No.
Boom.
I mean
the remix.
TC. The remix.
Listen, when someone says you're the next Justin Timberlake, Teddy, you say yes, thank you.
Yes, thank you.